Hi, Debs.
Hello?
I was like, she's going to be in the dark, and you are. Why is mine so bright? How are you? Oh, you've gone all. Your reception is really bad.
Oh no, hang on.
Just a few teething problems,
Better?
guys. I've just
Is that
realised I've got no
better?
foundation on. I'm like, nuts. Is that better?
It's a shame you can't use. Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, but you keep dipping in and out, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
My
I've just been
Wi-Fi.
sitting. I've been sitting underneath a barbell questioning my life choices for the past half an hour and not doing a single hip thrust.
I'm gonna get you that ass.
I hate training at home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of home training.
I've legitimately Googled flights to Dubai today.
I'm not, I kid you not, that was exactly what I was doing before.
Mate, let's go. It's so cheap.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. Well, yeah.
I looked. The flights I found were like 350, £400, which I don't think is bad.
No, it's not at all. Hotels are cheap at the moment too. That's literally just what I was doing before I
Mate,
hopped.
let's go. I can't live like this. I will. I've got the cats, obviously, but what I'll do is I'll tempt someone by saying, I've got 170 kilos of plates and barbells. You can come and train at my house and look after my cats, and I'll be back when lockdown's over.
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering it.
Yeah, it seems to be one of the few places that's actually quite normal at the moment.
Yeah. It's about 15% of UK bodybuilders out there at the moment of our whole bodybuilding scene.
My Instagram feed is there at the moment.
I was literally like Googling it, and then I was like, would I carry on dieting in Dubai? No, fuck that. Do I need to diet if I've got the gym? No. And it was all just like light bulbs going on, and I was like, this is perfect. I mean, I'm about to get made redundant, so
Oh
it's
no.
not perfect. Yeah. Bad timing, right? But it's happened to so many people. I'm just so lucky I've kept my job for this long in like coronavirus times.
How is your coronavirus, by the way?
I feel fine now. So the first week I just felt like I had like a cold coming.
Yeah.
And then I had one sore tonsil for about 3 days, but it wasn't even that bad. And I've just been really tired. Like I've been sleeping. You've seen my sleep logs. I sleep about 6 hours usually. I've been sleeping for 9.5, 8.5, like no sleeping tablets. And I'm just like, this is crazy. So coronavirus is really good if you've got insomnia. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Honestly, how is it in your new house for lockdown?
Oh, it's good. It's nice. Typical. I've got a garden now, and there's no sun, but I've got space. I've got a proper office set up for work. I took 2 bloody weeks away from the gym to decorate just before we went into lockdown.
I've done it both lockdowns, didn't I? Do you remember last time I was ill and I was in prep? So I had 2 weeks off, and then the day I went back to the gym, it closed. And then this time I've got coronavirus, so I haven't trained for a week and a half before it closed. And I hate training at home.
Yeah, it's not the same.
The garden wasn't as bad, but the living room is dire. And I've got to force myself to do it, but I'm not enjoying it.
To get going, it's okay. It's the getting going that's the biggest issue.
Oh, mine isn't. I really need the atmosphere to be there in the gym. Like every single time I go into my gym, I moan at them about the music and they change it and then it's good and then I can train. But now
Yeah.
I'm watching Netflix doing squats and I'm like, I can't live like this. Listening
So,
to my neighbor. My neighbor gets sick every day. I don't know what's wrong with him. So I'm just literally listening to him heaving while I'm training and I'm like, I'm going to Dubai. That's it. I'm out.
oh.
Um, yeah, thanks for starving me as well.
I'm nice like that. It's giving you something to do.
Do you know what? It's so much easier to diet when you can't leave the house, right? There's no temptation at all. Even just going to the gym and having all the little proteiny bars and snacks and stuff, like none of that. No restaurants, obviously.
No,
Mm.
like, because the thing is, the only stuff in your house is like when you live on your own, is the stuff you put in your
Yeah.
house.
So it's really easy to stick to it.
Yeah.
Someone asked me yesterday, actually it was Sandra, when are you going to get a refeed? And I was like, I'm doing a 4-week diet. Like, there's no refeed. But it's funny, isn't it? Because you just fall so easily back into it as well. The first day I was like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. And now I'm like counting my macros like a fucking... I went over my macros today, but I still had some meals left. So, you know, when you have to jig them around to be the worst, like meals that don't go together. Like, I'm going to eat some weird stuff today, weird combos just to hit your macros. Oh, look at Alfie. So sweet. My cats are asleep. I'm quite surprised. They've come to the every other live, but
Do you
not
know,
today.
really distracting. Do you know Dave is? He got a gun.
No, I don't know Dave, but you know what? I've been having very weird comments the last few days that we have had to ignore some of them. There was one guy who was so insistent that he was going to come to America to see me. Sorry, mate. I live in London. And yeah, telling me how much he loves me, but he didn't call me by my name. He just referred to me as redhead. So about 100 times he kept saying, hey, redhead, boyfriend or no? Hey, redhead, I'm sad. Hey, and I was just like, pretty sure you could have invested 2 seconds to check my name if you really did love me that much. And then yesterday someone asked me, do you like BBC? And then sent me a dick pic. That was nice.
Nice. Charming.
Oh, I think it was photoshopped. He was squeezing it like he hated it. I was just like, mate, don't do that to yourself. But you know that you report these things to Instagram and they don't do anything about it. And then they remove your gym training videos because they've got some music in the background.
Yeah.
How about the unauthorized genitalia gets removed before the music in the background of my training video? Oh, look at him. He's really behaved as well. Look.
Yeah, he's got his out for you. Like, he's silent.
Oh, it must be so amazing to have him back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's made all the difference as well.
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds stupid, but because it's so easy, isn't it, to slip out of routine? And because I've got hit, he keeps me in a routine because he needs gets up, goes for a walk, that kind of stuff. So it is good in that respect. And just he's just.
Oh my God, do you know this guy, Dave?
No.
Dave, you've got to chill on the biceps because I'm off season. We've both got quite big biceps, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave.
He's like, don't tease me like that. I just had in my memories on my phone, like from 2 years ago. So obviously I just competed and then I went on holiday and there's me doing a bicep like curl next to Iron Man at Disneyland. And they were like, because I was still really lean. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should start training them, but I'm not going to, am I?
Yeah.
So what are you doing for lockdown? Are you cutting? Are you just living life?
Living life. I'll be honest, I thought about it because I thought about, I want a mini cut. This will be the perfect time.
Yeah.
And I did like one day of tracking my macros and was like, I'm not ready for this
Got
again.
this.
I dieted the whole of the last lockdown.
Yeah.
And then obviously all of last year I was on prep. And you know, when you just kind of feel like if I try and diet at the moment, I'll be setting myself up to fail because I'm not dieting to be able to go again. And I'll be honest, I'm really enjoying not being hungry.
Yeah. I must say though, even though I'm on like low calories compared to what I was eating before, I'm just not that active because I'm in my little flat. So I'm not as hungry because I'm not burning as many calories. Yeah. It's all a bit, thanks, Boris. I could have dieted on higher calories. But then I wouldn't be dieting now, right? If we weren't in lockdown, I'd be living life and loving it.
Exactly.
It's actually really good because if I'd carried on the way that I was, I'd definitely have diabetes next year.
Yeah.
There's just some feeders at my gym. So you get to the gym and there's always baked goods there that they've brought in. And it's like cookie dough, cookies, cakes, like cupcakes. It's just unreal. And obviously I'm straight in there like, yeah, all right. Like, Martina, do you want this? And I'm like, already eating it before they finish saying this. And I'm like, yeah. So it is good to have a little reset of my habits rather than even worry about body fat. Just the eating habits were getting pretty bad.
Do you know what I quite like about a mini cut sometimes when you're in the frame of mind as well? Is that, you know, when you get to that stage when you're eating kind of what you want and food loses its novelty, it almost loses pleasure. Like you kind of just don't get excited about it. I quite like getting like when I'm in that zone, getting hungry so that I can appreciate food again.
Yeah, look, Lily the feeder just joined. Lily, I was just telling Laura, who's my coach, by the way, how you just terrorized me with cookie dough and biscoff balls. And
it's what she tells me anyway. It's what you're gonna...
I just can't not eat it. I've always been like this though. Even before I competed, I've always been a pig. Like it's really bad. But I feel like I've been off season since 2018. Like obviously I dieted for 8 weeks for prep at the start of the year. It's like it never happened. Yeah. So when I started dieting again, like a couple of days ago, I was just like, this is novel. So I didn't mind being hungry for the first couple of days, but then today I was like, this is shit, and it's only day 4.
Yeah, I find that you get the first couple of days, and actually you feel kind of good. Like you drank enough water, you've actually ate probably a few more vegetables than you would ever normally. And then you get that day when the hunger comes back, and it's usually that day when you like you were eating weird shit before you go to bed.
Yeah, it's Fibre One's fault. Have you tried the red velvet ones?
No, are they good?
Fucking hell. They're only a box of 4, luckily.
I avoid them because my theory on Fibre One bars is they're just normal bloody cake bars, but the reason they're so low calorie is because they're like this big.
They're so small. So I was trying to like eat it like a bite at a time. But fucking hell, I knew I shouldn't have bought them. I knew they were going to be in the cupboard taunting me. But I've got so much meal prep. It's unbelievable. So I do my meal prep every Sunday, even in the off season. I think that's why people are like, how do you stay your body composition quite tight? But it's because I meal prep 5 days of meals a week.
Yeah.
So even though I don't count it, it's still quite controlled.
Yeah.
And then I go to the gym and then Lily just shoves 700 calories at me the minute she sees me. And I'm just like, okay. And here's another culprit, ZPMG. Them two are the ones that feed me sugar 24/7. I mean, I could say no. No, it's really, really good. That's what I'm missing about the gym is the people. It's not it is the training. I'm not gonna lie. I do miss the training. But we have a gym in London that's still open. Yeah, so I might actually go tomorrow because I'm out of my quarantine now. And I can't do a Bulgarian split squat in my house. I hate doing them at the gym, let alone in my house.
Yeah, they are savage.
Oh God. Do you know this, Dave?
No. But apparently you've got the biggest biceps. So yeah, she has, Dave. Leave it there. Have a nice
day. Do you know what? I've never trained my biceps, and they've always been quite big because of bad form on other exercises. But because I don't train my back anymore, my biceps aren't getting any bigger. They're just staying there. But I don't really need them to be any bigger. My sister, we used to call her Guns, and now I like put her to shame. And I'm like, yeah, you're Guns. And I'd be like, and now I'm like, that's my name now, bitch. I mean, she's got a child, she's had a baby, so she doesn't give a fuck. Do you know what though? Mums are the ones with the biggest muscly arms, aren't they? Like, they're so strong.
Yeah.
I was saying to Natalie Moncrief yesterday, I don't know how parents diet. Like, hats off to them, and prep as well, have the time to train. Like, I barely fit everything in. I don't know how they do it.
No, I don't know. They have, like, I can just like cope with a dog in prep. Like, genuinely. I always say it. I also don't know how people, like, I'm very fortunate in that my job's kind of geared up for prep. Like, I can move my schedule around. I can, you know, I don't know how people with real jobs.
I think it's easy for me to eat at work because I do a desk job. So what I've noticed, say my friends that say personal trainers, for example, they do have a higher calorie expenditure because they're walking around all day, so they don't really have to do cardio. But then they barely get to eat because they've got their clients like stacked up. Whereas I can just eat whenever I want, but I struggle with the energy expenditure bit because I'm sitting at my desk all day.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been allowed out of the house for 2 weeks, right? So I just sometimes doing it in my living room, but only since Friday when I started dieting. Before, look, oh my God, I'm not doing it because it's got too weird now. You've asked too many times. There's definitely pictures of my biceps on my wall.
A DM after this. I'm sure you can negotiate.
Yeah, I'll send you my PayPal address.
But where should we stay? We want a flight to Dubai.
I honestly, legitimately, so you have to test negative for COVID to go. I was talking to Brightman about it yesterday because he's just arrived and he said he had no trouble. You know, like we thought that you might get turned away or there might be issues at customs. He said he literally breezed through and he was fine. But yeah, I just want to go. I mean, I just want to go. I'm watching everyone training, like going for midnight walks, and it's 30 degrees, and the food that everyone's eating sushi every day. I haven't had sushi for so long.
No, I know.
So yeah, I really want to go. I really want to go. But the worst thing is we'd both still have to work, right?
Yeah.
4 hours time difference though. You can do, you know, like when there is that kind of time difference, you get so much done before everyone wakes up in England.
Every online coach I know is in Dubai at the moment. I'll be all right. I'll fit right in.
Yeah, you could all have little like WeWork type hot desking arrangements. No, it does look really, really good. I mean, a lot of the people that I know have actually just gone out there indefinitely. They're not just there for lockdown.
Do you know what? I can't really blame them. Like the way the UK is at the moment.
What
do you think is going to happen? Is this going to be 4 weeks or is this?
I think it has to be after. I can't believe I was saying to my friend earlier. I cannot believe I agreed with Theresa May this week. She was grilling them, saying, "Why have you gone into lockdown when the figures don't actually support it?" And then, but you just don't know what you're reading in the news is true, right? And they're just saying that Boris Johnson feels blindsided because actually he was given false data that put us into a lockdown that probably wasn't necessary. So I was hoping that today he was going to say it's going to be over at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I do think it'll be 4 weeks just because of Christmas. Can you imagine what legitimately I think there'll be riots if they try and say we can't see our families at Christmas.
The thing is as well, like the general, I don't know what it's like by you, but the thing is here is like there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like our number is so low. And there's just this kind of feeling like when I'm talking to people, like everyone got on board with the last one because it was new, you know what was going on, everyone kind of followed the rules. This and people are just outright like you know what I mean? Like even down to like, you can't blame people like hairdressers seeing people like everyone's. I'm not going to say it, but they are. It's just
I
there's no reason in it this time
yeah.
round.
I just
Guns,
I
Martina.
oh God.
Do you want to
Do I
keep?
want to see how are we going to do that?
Dave, how does
Send
that
me
work?
a DM. Fine.
I wish we could send a picture live on this, and then we could rate Dave's gun.
Yeah, if he DMs me the picture, I can look it on my laptop and we can have a laugh live. So where you've moved, is it near your old place or is it a different?
It's another like kind of village, I guess you'd say. It's about 20 minutes away from where I was, so it's still just outside of Bath. Yeah, it's not too far at all, but I'm not as like in the middle of the country, so well, it doesn't feel that way. Anyway, I've got more to go up here than I had last time.
How close are you to the protein pancakes that you love to have?
Closer to that now. I'm 25 minutes drive from there. That's
25 minutes drive. She knows that.
24 on a good day.
I reckon I could speed walk there quicker right now. I'm so hungry.
Day 4. I
was fine the first couple of days for hunger, but yeah, yesterday and today.
I'll tell you what,
it's getting used to it, isn't it?
The shit, the first part of a diet is shit. You get all the hunger, you get all the cravings, but you don't like, you look the same. So it's really, really frustrating. Whereas like, you know, when you get like deeper in prep.
Oh my God, Laura.
Look starving. Do you know what I mean?
He's just DM'd me his biceps.
Nice. Do you like them?
Let me have a look.
DM it to me because I've got another phone and we'll all have a look.
Oh God, no, look, there's 2 pictures that are blurred. Oh my God, they don't even look real. I wonder if I can show you guys.
Forward it.
Do you remember last time I did this? That's everyone. That's Dave HR83's biceps. If you want to have a gun off, feel free to DM me. Laura will give you a free recipe for her baked oats at the end to the winner. They're bloody good, actually. I've never been one to use any recipes, but yeah, those breakfast ones are so good. And is it Chloe that keeps doing this crumpet
bake?
Fry up, right? Oh,
yeah. I think Chloe's watching. I feel bad for Chloe because she started prep and we got put in the first lockdown, and she's done her show and then literally finished her show, and then the day after we've been put in a lockdown again. Poor Chloe hasn't had a post-show meal. She hasn't been able to eat.
Oh
no! Still going through prep. Yes, it's me. There we go. There she is.
Do you know what? That happened to me, obviously, when we went into lockdown. So I was probably, I probably had 4 more weeks left until I was ready. And then we went into lockdown and I maintained, didn't I, for a month while we didn't know what was happening. And actually I ended up not having a post-prep blowout because of it. But I put on, 10 kilos probably? And I still look lean at the end of it. So I was like, how lean was I when I went into lockdown? Because you don't see it yourself, do you? You're just like...
Very quickly when we did those...
Deborah's eating the baked crumpets now. That's one way to make me feel bloody jealous.
Picture before eating it.
If everybody wants to know what we're talking about, you have to follow Chloe Daily 4, and she puts it on her story almost daily. This amazing kind of cooked breakfast, but with crumpets all baked in the oven, and it looks insane. Where do you get all the ideas for all your kind of diet friendly versions of all the yummy foods?
Hunger and desperation.
Because I've never been one to think like I'm going to try and do a lower calorie version. I'd just rather just eat fish and rice.
I just go, it depends how low my calories get. Like if we're talking bikini prep low, I do just stay super bro and keep it easy.
Yeah.
Just doing like a bit of a shoot diet or a mini cut. I just think, right, what am I craving? What's it made of? I'll switch this for this. I've come out with some terrible things though. And like I recipes on my website whilst dieting, been not dieting, tried them, and had to take them down because I'm like, this tastes like cardboard. Honestly, embarrassing everyone. This is really nice.
Honestly. When you said, I'm sure it was you that said something was nice, and I was like, mate, that tastes like shit. Oh, it was the Halo Top salty caramel desserts. Yeah, and I tried them. They're disgusting. They just taste like burnt.
Have you had the chocolate brownie Halo Top yet?
No.
It's good.
I don't eat diet versions of anything, do I really? Because I don't tend to eat like that in prep anyway, because I need to feel full.
Yeah.
But I really like, if I'm going to have a diet ice cream, Ben and Jerry's do that Euphoria range, which is like, oh, so good. They do a chocolate cherry Garcia, which is like, what, 500 calories for the whole tub. I eat the whole tub in one sitting. It's so bad. But they sell it at Domino's. So I always get Domino's cookies with that ice cream delivered. And then those two things together are, oh, I shouldn't have talked about it because now I really want it.
Fun, you can't have it.
What is your like ultimate, if one of your clients is craving so bad and you're like, right, eat this low calorie version of this thing, what is your like go-to amazing thing? Because that ice cream is mine.
Depends how low they are, and it depends whether they're sweet or savory as well. Like that's how the baked oats came about, to be fair. Like that is, considering it is just basically bodybuilder oats made in a slightly different way.
Yeah. And it's like a cake.
Yeah. I think sausages are a pretty staple for a lot of people when dieting. I tell everyone to get an ActiFry.
My kitchen is so small that ActiFry wouldn't even fit. They're so big.
It's fine. Get rid of something. Get rid of a cat. Get an ActiFry.
Get rid of the sink. You don't need that. I saw one of the bodybuilders that I follow on here, his girlfriend wouldn't let him have a microwave because it ruined the aesthetic of the kitchen. And I was thinking, how the fuck does he eat? Because surely he meal preps everything for ease. Yeah. The only reason I really meal prep is it's cheaper, and obviously I work in London, so if I just was going to say Pret every day, for me to feel full, I'm probably spending 15 to 20 pounds a day in there. Look at Luke, absolutely disgusted, saying get rid of a cat. You can tell she's a dog person, Luke. But yeah, I meal prep because of the money, but also I never want to be more than 2 minutes away from my next meal. Yeah. Like if I'm hungry, I'm 2 minutes away. Like I actually think that Chloe might be a psychopath because she can only eat a teaspoon of biscoff a day.
Chloe, what Chloe needs to understand is you are a special breed, because most people, when it comes to biscoff spread, do not have that. Like, I commend you. I wish I was like it, but yeah, she had.
I could get 2 portions out of a tub of biscoff maximum.
Yeah, do you know what this whole conversation has reminded me that I've got half a jar in the cupboard downstairs.
Right, I know. Do you know what you need to tell everybody, because I need to know, where is the biscoff ice cream from?
What do you mean, where is it from?
Where do you buy it? I couldn't look at it. I couldn't look at it because I've only saw it this weekend for the first time.
Have you seen
it's all your bloody clients posting it, so I'm like,
they've got biscoff sticks, like a Magnum as well, but it's biscoff.
Oh, God. If the lockdown is ended at the end of, like, on the 2nd, I'm going straight back into a massive surplus. And the first thing I'm going to eat is the biscoff sticks dipped in the ice cream. Mm-hmm.
With the spread as well. Just get it all going on. I love that spread.
I'd like to know now what this person wants a flash of. Give us a flash, you old boring cow. Oh. I'm actually trying to behave myself because I did one of these with my friend Annie the other day, and I actually had to second guess whether I should put it on my YouTube or not, because any employer will find that. Because when I'm looking for a job, which I'm about to do, I can just make my Instagram private, so they can't actually access the bullshit that comes out of my mouth. They can only see what is on a Google search. But my YouTube is public, and I usually put my IGTVs on my YouTube, and it was started off so slow and she was so prim and proper, and then it just descended into absolute chaos of exactly what I'm like, right? She's just egging me on. And we were talking about my shit love life, like her kissing her cat. I was like, don't let your cat lick your mouth. She's just like, what? It's so cute. I'm like, your cat licks its arsehole and then licks you on the mouth. And she was just like, like, yeah, and we're just talking about really PG topics that were not, I mean, I don't care if it's on my Instagram, but I don't want a future employer to judge me by that one conversation.
I know. Had I known this was going to be on your YouTube, I would have done something about my hair.
Don't worry, you're really pixelated. I'm being asked, has anybody else sent me in their biceps? Let's see. I think I have had some more biceps. Tap to reveal. Oh, that's Gary Stewart is cheating, and he sent me Arnold Schwarzenegger. Paul Jones, beat this, Dave.
Oh God.
Got some good guns on yourselves, guys. Let me see if any one of my connections has sent me one. No. Luke, Muscle Mentors, I feel like it's your time to shine. Send me your biceps.
You get the girls on in it. Any girls want to flex, you can send that to her inbox as well.
Yeah, I'm all here for the strong girls. Oh,
then
it seems like I'm a stuck-up cow in person. That would literally be the first time I've ever heard that in my life, because I'm such a clown. Do you remember when we met? Actually, we were backstage and we were both really nervous because we were waiting to get our makeup done, and we were just like, hi, how are you?
Like that. Told me that you had, because I remember at the time we both worked, well, I worked for a certain nutrition company that I'm not even going to name on here, but you were wearing the hoodie, and one of the first things you said to me was that it was some guy you were dating and you stole it from him. That was one of the first.
I stole it from him, and it became my cardio hoodie of that company because it was really big, but it was white, so it was like, you can't wear that many times. But yeah, I only actually got rid of it in lockdown 1 when I did the purge. Because I just said to my best friend today, you know, when you're stuck in like lockdown, you end up just going through your cupboards and getting rid of loads of stuff. And how every time I get rid of stuff, I've got really old crap that's still left. How does it survive the purge every time?
I thought that when I moved. If you get this, like, why?
Oh my God. I'm really bad. I always end up bringing absolutely everything to the new place and then getting rid of stuff. And it just does not make sense to do it that way round. Are you absolutely loving being able to just decorate your own place exactly how you like it?
Although, to be honest, exactly how I like it is everything white and boring.
I really like what you did to the bathroom, actually, with the mirror tiles. It was very cool.
So that was because I don't know how to tile, but actually I was quite impressed with myself.
No, it looked good.
Floor, I laid, I mean, they were only those peel and stick floor tiles, which I actually thought was going to be really, really easy. I was like, how hard can it be? You just peel them off, put them down. And then it was only when I went to put them down, I was like, this room, there's nothing square about this room. It's like crazy paving. But actually, as long as you don't come in my bathroom and look behind the toilet, it's all good.
I mean, I would hope that you don't really have those kind of people in your house that are checking behind the toilet. But we all know some weird people, so maybe. I can't imagine having anyone over to my house ever again, because we've been in such a weird like space this year, you know, where even though when we came out of lockdown, I never really went back to my old social life because I still don't want to get on the tube. That's a big thing. And we just, I don't know, the social distancing thing, you're actually legally, I don't think we're allowed to be in the house anyway. But I just haven't had, like, you know, people over for dinner and stuff like that. Just haven't been doing it. And I wonder if we will ever go back to that kind of before, when you didn't used to worry about germs and viruses. And it's going to be really weird.
I think it will take a very, very long time. think eventually. Imagine
You're
that.
right
Like,
there, mate.
okay, just having a
You're right. Talking about viruses and social distancing.
okay.
The zombie.
I'm doing
Dave, there's your bicep. I feel so flat at the moment because I haven't trained now for nearly 3 weeks properly. I'm really annoyed because this in between stage from the last lockdown to this one's the best training I've ever had. Like most consistent, hardest, most intense, recovering well, and all of a sudden it's just like pull the rug out from underneath me.
You know what, that's where I was going with it. A powerlifter who trains at our gym wrote me like a strength program for my squat, my deadlift, and my bench, and gave me some numbers. And because I'm eating now, it was awesome. I've never felt so strong. And then it's like lockdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and actually, when I was decorating, I couldn't train. I was like, I don't have time to train. Do you know the real reason I didn't train? I had DOMS from decorating. Like,
It's
I'm not
hard.
back.
It is hard. One of my friends has been doing like cleaning houses on the side just to make a bit of extra money because of furlough and everything, and said that it's so physically demanding to just clean somebody's house, and you're always in a squat apparently because you're always like cleaning things. And I was like, maybe that's what I need to do for cardio. And then your Fitbit always thinks that you've done it as steps as well. So stupid. You know when you hit your 10,000 steps and it starts vibrating but you're sitting down and you're like, it's literally waved a fly away or something. So have you got any like trips planned or anything?
Nothing. I was supposed to go to Amsterdam back in October, but that got cancelled. And then like I'd had a few things in the pipeline this year and just nothing. It's gone ahead.
Yeah.
And then it's one of those, isn't it? It's like you don't want to book it in case it gets cancelled. But getting to the point now where I'm like, do I just do a last minute somewhere?
Yeah.
Getting towards and I'm really feeling it. Because to be honest, because lockdown for me doesn't change anything. I work from home by myself all day anyway. It's just that now me and my social life isn't that exciting. So now it's like I can't go to the gym. My holidays for me were the only time I switch off from work. And I feel that I've had a year where I haven't had a switch off all year. So I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful that I'm in the position I'm in with work at the moment. But I just want the other thing is like I don't think I've ever been this pale at this time of year. I don't really like fake tan because it stinks and I look like a zebra. Very good at doing it. And then I was having normally I'd go on a few holidays and have a few cheeky sunbeds, but now it's like I'm that. So yeah.
I've taken this opportunity to spend my time doing all these anti-aging things to myself because you're not meant to really be in the sun when you use some of these acids and stuff. This is perfect right now. So if I got close, it's probably all peeling off. I've got some, it's like a little bit stronger than retinol and you just put like a pea-sized amount on like a couple of times a week, but your whole face peels off. And it's disgusting, to be honest. But you can't go out of the house without sunscreen because it's quite sensitive. And I was like, well, this is perfect because I'm not leaving the house to go anywhere but Asda.
Sounds terrifying. What did you do this lockdown? I peeled the top of my face.
I peeled all my face off. And now I look 1 year younger. It was worth it. I must just say, like, for me, I never really had time for self-care like that. And in the last lockdown, I spent some time actually looking after myself. My skin was so much better that I was like, you've got to keep doing this. And I'm sure it's because I used to sleep in my makeup 24/7. Like, whereas
when you don't wear makeup to your skin,
I just looked like shit for 4 weeks running. I didn't wear any makeup for 4 weeks in the last lockdown. And then I was just like, you're so ugly. You're like, do something about it. And then when you first start wearing makeup again, you feel like a clown, even though you don't have that much on, because you're so not used to seeing it. And now I'm just like, I actually have made like a commitment to myself that every day I do the things that a normal person should do, like shower and clean my teeth And then I put a bit of eyeliner on for my Instagram lives. But I have managed this whole lockdown, or since Thursday, to shower every day, guys.
Well done.
Ticking those boxes.
No,
I'm just such a low maintenance person. I've never really cared that much what I look like because I was a geek at school, so it wasn't a thing. So yeah, now I'm a bit sloppy when it comes to presentation. I don't remember the last time I brushed my hair. Dave, come on, man. Laura will send you some of my check-ins, but it just involves me falling over or my bra pinging open. That's that is probably my most popular post, for a post that's been shared the most of everything I've ever done, was that me flexing my lats and my bra just pinged.
That wasn't a little video.
I mean, you get the better ones. There's some really stupid, ridiculous ones. Half the time the cat just decides in the middle of the posing that they want to get out of the room, and it's like, just leave them, oh for fuck's sake. But yeah, it's so stupid because you really shouldn't care about sending the best video to your coach, but I just literally, if I'll do 6 of them and then spend about 4 hours trying to choose between them, why? And then you're like, are you checking in today, mate? And I'm like, yeah, okay, let me just choose between these 2. But do you know what I do now? I send the worst one. I don't send the one where I look the best because it's just misleading. What's the point? Yeah. Send the worst one and then get better results, isn't it?
That's why I get prep clients, though, to do video as well, because there is no hiding in a video. And also, that's what you're going to do on the stage. That's what the judges are going to see on the stage. They're not going to see a still image that you've picked the perfect point to take. So yeah, right to just send the video.
What's the worst thing that I've done as a prep client?
The worst thing that you've done?
It's got to be the tequila.
Yeah, although I'm completely clueless about the bloody tequila until you confessed about it a year later.
Okay, so now I do have some confessions.
Oh, here we go.
So I would do most of my cardio. Most of my cardio, right? So obviously, I've never been a client that freaks out that I'm not lean enough, because I know when I'm lean. I think it's because I've been lean.
Because you don't want me to drop your food, so you're like, look how lean I am.
So yeah, but I already know that I'm going to be ready, because no matter what, I'll just do the bloody cardio. But so a couple of times, I'd be out on my evening steps and it would be, say, like 9 o'clock, and I've ticked every box. I've trained, I've done everything. I've just got that final bit of expenditure. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a Thai restaurant having a 3-course meal.
Yeah, when that happens.
It happened 3 times as well. And then my boyfriend at the time just enabled me. Are you sure? Me? Yeah, him. Straight away ordering. And I'm like, just try a bit harder to talk me out of it. And then yeah, that one day, but I was like, I'd done 8 weeks and then I had 8 weeks left, so I knew I was all right to just swap out the 1,000 calories of food that day for 1,000 calories of tequila. And actually I was probably in a deficit that day because I got sick, because that's 13 shots of tequila. That was a bad decision. Like, but it's good because I had obviously was missing alcohol and fun, but I was so hungover the next day, and I still had to tick all my boxes from my expenditure, that I never wanted to drink again. And so for the next 8 weeks, I didn't miss fun or tequila, because I drank 1,000 calories of it in one day.
God, if you were lean at that point, you must have been hammered as well.
I wasn't like crazy lean, but I wasn't, I mean, I had lines. That's when we know I'm leaner, right? When I've got lines in my stomach, because that's my fat bit. But how crazy was how quickly I leaned up this year. I had diet face in week 2.
Yeah, although, do you find as you get older, your face gets leaner quicker?
Oh yeah, it's definitely an age thing for sure. So like, I think, when did I start competing? 2014. How old was I? 32. I thought I had diet face then. it's this. It just looked like this. And then I used to have like a rounder face, so I'd look like a moon in off season. And now I've got like hollow cheeks and high cheekbones, but it's mostly because the fat never came back on in the same way. Even my nose is a different shape because there's no fat on it anymore. So weird.
Yeah, that's what my doctor said about it, wasn't it?
Mm. I just am so like at that point where I have to get cheek fillers before I compete, or I look like the actual skull emoji. And obviously on stage, you still need to look well and healthy, or they're going to mark you down.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't think that everyone really realizes it's not just your physique that they're marking you on, especially if you tie. So at the British finals, I tied with Natalie, and they had to choose one of us, and it would have been those smaller things that they would have looked at then.
Yeah.
And that's why I shave my entire body now. I never used to. I don't need to. I'm not very hairy, but I will shave my back before I tan.
Why don't you shave your back?
Because the tan just sits the tiniest bit better. And, you know, it's those tiny little things that might get you that first place instead of second place.
I legit don't think I could reach my back to oh yeah, maybe.
I've got one really flexible arm and one really old age pensioner arm. And I mean, I've got weird shoulder blades, haven't I? So maybe it's because of that. But
can you put your hands behind your back?
I can put one hand, but not the other one. Oh, look, you saw a bit of my bicep there.
Martina, you're my bye. Keep them biceps covered.
Do you think that you'll compete again?
I'm not sure. I do love it. I just don't know how it would fit in now with work and everything else, in the sense of I am like, being completely transparent, I'm a much better coach when I'm not proud of myself. I think you have to have done it at some point. Also, the thing that runs through my head, I mean, I don't know. The season could start, I could get excited and I could change my mind. But I don't really, for me personally, I don't have any desires to be like a British champion. I'm not chasing a pro card, none of that stuff. So then there's a part of me that thinks, well, let's say you did a show and awesome outcome, you won. You're not then going to take that to finals. So what's the point to get another trophy that's going to sit on your shelf and collect dust that you don't do anything with? Is it really worth it for that? And until I feel like the answer is yes, I don't know, because obviously not 2022 I'll be masters, and that could change about it because it's a different category. So
God, Dave, chill out, Dave, mate.
Martino teasing him.
I think it's really funny because we obviously were in the same category when we met, and some of my friends then were like, you're going to compete against your coach. But obviously I moved into masters. But it's not that I wouldn't want to compete against you, it's just I want you to be 100% on it when I'm having a fucking meltdown. You know, or like, just be present for my prep, because I know how hard it is to concentrate and to think, and just energy wise. And it must be so awful to be prepping at the same time as your clients, especially if they're neurotic, right? I mean, I don't think I'm actually that bad, but I know some of my friends are crazy when they're prepping, and they're crazy to me. So I can't imagine what they're saying to their coaches when they're having their check-in meltdowns. And I think you have to really have your like energy to deal with that.
Not even that so much as like, I reduce my client numbers when I'm prepping, and everybody's competing must be really good for business. Maybe in the long term, because you know it puts you on the map a little bit and you get experience and all of that. But actually, in the short term, I'm broke when I compete. There's a certain number of, like, I'm not prepared to take. I'm not one of these coaches that will take on loads and loads of clients and dilute the quality of what I do. I cap my client numbers and give them good service, because actually in the long, who does it? It's going to benefit me more giving everyone good service. You know, so. When I compete, I'm skinned because I'm on running half client numbers. So that's the other thing as well. Like the rate that kind of Girl Gains has grown and the clients that I've got now, I need my energy to do that. I can't be focusing on But it does make me, and again, so, like maybe that's just me. Some people are better at handling it, but these people that have got hundreds of clients and are doing show after show after show, and I mean, everybody coaches slightly differently, right? Different price points,
Mm.
different. They go into depth a different amount of clients, but it just made me
Yeah.
think, like, how the hell do they do all of that and keep on top of their clients and not drop the ball on any of it?
Yeah. Well, you hear horror stories, don't you? Those are the coaches that don't support you post show usually, I find. I literally had a coach that I never really heard from him again after the day of my show. And it
Really?
was just like, I need some help. I feel like for me, especially that month after, like that month in 2018 after Worlds, oh my God, I struggled just because I was so hungry. And I've never been that lean before, right? So I've never really had my hormones affected like that. When I look at what I looked like the year before in toned bikini compared to Masters, I don't even think we appreciated at the time how much leaner I had got than
Yeah.
the last time before. And yeah, Phoebe told me that I'm the first person she's ever heard say, I don't want my pro card from IFBB. Because for me, it's like, that's when it's no longer a hobby and I can't just do it every other year and have some fun and get my trophies and stuff. It becomes like you're standing on stage next to Phoebe trying to beat her, because they don't even have height class, do they, the pro league?
I didn't realize that.
No. So like you have Alicia Gardner's like what, 5'10", and then
Yeah.
she was competing against Tasha Tova, who is mini. I mean, she must be 5'1", and or maybe a tiny bit bigger. But yeah, it's just the disparity. And obviously
Yeah.
us taller girls generally don't tend to carry as much muscle on our legs, especially.
Well, it's not even that, it's just that it's stretched out over such a longer area, so you need a lot more muscle to make it look like you've got muscle. But
I can remember moaning to you.
That, so.
Yeah. No, I do remember like having a little meltdown to you, because my meltdowns are always that I don't have enough muscle, isn't it? It's not that I'm not lean enough. And you just say, me, I haven't got any adductors. You were like, yeah, you do, but you got really long legs. And it was like, I'm excited to see what I will look like leaner next time. But I am getting to the end of, do I want to keep ruining my face like this? I know that sounds so stupid, but I absolutely despise what my face looks like when I'm lean, especially because it's this bad in the off season. Like, this is as big as I've ever been in my life. This is the heaviest I've ever weighed. So what's gonna happen to my face next time? I'm really lucky. Do you know, I'm now got a like sponsorship with my filler lady for 2 lots of Botox and fillers a year, because so many people go to her from my Instagram. When I say that I've had my lips done and they look really natural, people book in. And especially I just had this like threads put in to kind of pull my baggy bit. And 2 people booked in with her straight after. She was like, do you want to be an ambassador? And I was like, fuck yes.
Oh, really?
Like, even if you just do my lip fillers twice a year for free, I love you. Now all I need a meal prep company. Beth Scott is she's sponsored by, I don't know if it's a kebab house or an Indian takeaway. Yeah, Charlie Khan's. It must be Indian, right? He sponsors Charlie Khan's in Dundee. Sponsors Beth Scott. That is the best sponsorship I've ever heard of.
That's gold.
If you could choose a sponsorship for absolutely anything in the world, what would you want it to be?
Monster. I'd say the freaking
yeah. Do you know what? For me, Wilco Pick-a-Mix.
Oh yeah, but I'd be airlifted out of my house if I
Yeah, but you could drink Monster Zero because you're dieting, but then eat the big Pick-a-Mix every couple of days. Let's not go too crazy.
I wouldn't eat them because I'd have no teeth left.
What is your favourite pick a mix of the bunch though?
Oh, that's like asking a parent to choose a favourite
She's
child.
like, talk dirty to me. Mine is the white chocolate coins with the like hundreds and thousands on the top.
They're called jazz.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're nice. I like the like fizzy strawberry ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're, you know, the cables that you can get, but they're like this kind of size.
Yeah.
I like them. I miss them.
Memories.
Though, because I know you can get all these companies doing like they post you a pick and mix and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, which is great, but it's the whole thing. I like getting my cup. I like trying to shove as much pick and mix as you.
Yeah. Oh my God. And you have to be strategic. And then like put the stupid chocolate covered raisins down the sides so they fall to the bottom.
Yeah, I jelly bean shake every leg.
And I am so good at literally getting the top on. That's what I love about going to the cinema, is having the pick a mix and going into the film and eating the entire pick a mix and popcorn before the film starts.
Yeah.
Or maybe I've left a couple of things. We are absolute pigs though, aren't we?
Yeah.
Whenever someone inquires about what you're like as a coach, I always just say, like, she has the same lifestyle as us. And that is what I think is so good, because some coaches would reprimand you for having a social life or doing the tequila. And yeah, you just realize that you've got to have a balanced lifestyle.
It's the thing is, somebody's motivations who is trying to get the pro card, because even within competing, like, number one, there's a massive difference between somebody that just wants to lose a bit of weight for life and somebody that's competing. Very, very different.
Yeah.
But I've seen a difference between somebody that is pro card chasing or finals chasing and someone that just wants to go and do a bikini competition.
Yeah.
They want to do as a personal challenge for them.
Mm.
There's a big difference between that as well. And I think sometimes people don't get the motivation. Like,
yeah. I feel like some of the first timers, especially that have messaged me in the past, I make them, I don't obviously say anything, but the way they see me prep, and it makes them feel like they're not doing it properly. And it's like, yeah, but I'm going for world champion. Like, you're doing your first show. And that's not to say you'll never be world champion, but just get the show out of the way and see if you even like doing it before you start having to hammer yourself the way that I do, because I'm looking at a different kind of goal there. Really, I don't want to just compete. I want to win it all. I don't even want to just win the regional. I want the bloody world champion.
Yeah, I think as well, it gets, in a weird way, it gets easier every time you prep, so you can push yourself hard, because more and more stuff becomes automatic. Like, your first prep is a lot of learning how to handle hunger, learning how to fit it all in, learning how to pose. There's so much stuff that you have to think about that by the time it comes to your second prep, you don't, you know, like when you learn to drive and you like concentrate on turning the wheel, indicating, like, and then when you've been, you're like, just check my lipstick, like,
just autopilot, don't you?
And every single prep, more of that stuff's become autopilot, so you can really like knuckle down on that like extra % every prep.
Yeah. We've only got a minute and a half left till it cuts us off, so have you got any final pearls of wisdom or tips for our lovely listeners?
Yeah, Dave, if you ever want to get a girlfriend, you have to stop asking random girls on the internet to send you pictures of their biceps. It is not cool.
No, the worst thing is Dave's probably got a girlfriend. But will you give him one bicep flex to make his lockdown? She's going to as well. Come on. Mine actually looks really small because I've got a lot of body fat on top of it. Feels hard though. That's the one thing I've noticed this year, is I feel a lot harder than I've ever done before.
I think that happens with like muscle maturity. As you get, I've noticed that my physique looks a lot like to touch.
More athletic. Yeah.
Than I did when I was younger.
Well, thank you so much. It's absolutely flown by.
No.
I feel like it's been half an hour. But I will put this on my IGTV and my YouTube so people can catch up on us chatting shit. And thank you so much. And thank you all so much. Have a good evening, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.